Hello, hello everybody. Welcome back again. Can you handle one more tutorial? I love this. These beaded beads, I'm having so much fun. And if you watched my last video, you already know how to do half of this bead. This one, we are using 2 needles. We are still using Fireline, our Fireline beading thread. Love it. I'm using 2 size 10 beading needles, and I have 36 inches of thread, roughly, give or take, and I have my needle threaded on each end of the one piece of thread. So I've got 2 needles, one on each end. All right, I've got 4 6mm glass pearls, and I've got 8 4mm bicones, and then I've got some, and I'm going to call these size 10 seed beads. I'm not positive. They're not real tiny though, because we need room to go through. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go through 1 6mm bead. We're going to go through 1 4mm bead on that needle. Bing! Take your other needle. We're going to go through a 4mm bead. All right, take your 2 needles together. Put your finger kind of in the middle and run those down. That keeps your threads kind of even at the other end. Kinda. All right, now take 1 needle, doesn't matter which one, and put on another glass pearl. All right, so we got them in the middle roughly. All right, so this needle, this half of my thread went into that last glass pearl, and it went in this way from here to here. So this needle comes back and passes through that same pearl in the opposite direction. Okay, so they cross like this in the middle of that pearl. If you didn't get it, it's okay. We will do it again and again. Okay, so you should have that now. Should look like that. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to add another 4mm bicone on that needle. On this needle, we're going to add a 4mm bicone, and we're going to add a 6. And again, it doesn't matter which needle your 6 goes on. Whichever one it goes on, the other one picks up the slack. All right, so here's this one. Here's what we've got so far. Now this one went through the bicone that way. Now this one goes the opposite direction, and it just pulls the little loops into a circle. I hope you can see that. I should have used black thread. Maybe you could have seen. I was thinking white would show up better. All right, so here's what we've got so far. Okay, and we're just going to continue. Do the same thing. Crisscrossing needles here. All right, so we've got a 4 and a 6 on one side. We've got a 4 on the other side. All right, pull that down, and we're going to go back through the 6 with the opposite needle in the opposite direction. And pull. Da-da-da. Okay, you've got 4 large beads. We've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I pulled an extra one. Okay, I was going to say, what did I do? That's all right. Better to have extra than have to stop and go back. Okay, so here we go. Now we've got our 4s, but we don't have a 6 left. What are we going to do? So glad you asked. We are going to roll this bead into a circle, and it's going to flop around a little. We're going to try to hold on to it. All right, now the needle that's on this side, the thread that's coming out of my bicone right here, this thread goes in this way through that very first 6mm bead that we started with. And it's going to pull this thing into a circle. It'll start looking like a bead. This needle is coming out of this side. It goes back into that first bead in the opposite direction. Ta-da. Okay, so here's what you've got. You should have 4 crystals on the top, 4 pearls in the middle, and 4 crystals on the bottom. Okay, now this is just like the other one so far. Now here's where the difference starts. We're going to start with our seed beads. We are going to take 1, 2, 3 seed beads on one needle and pull it down. We are going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 seed beads on the other needle. Well, he don't want to play, does he? Okay, 4 seed beads. So I got 3 seed beads on one side, 4 seed beads on the other needle. We're going to pull those down. Now, the side that has that 4th seed bead, there's number 4 right there. Take the opposite needle, the needle that only has the 3 seed beads, and cross it back in the opposite direction through that one little bitty seed bead. It's the same thing we did with a pearl, but now we're going to do it with a seed bead. All right, pull that down, and you've got half of your loop made. Let me see if I can pick it up and show you. Pull that, pull that, pull that. It's going to make a little X. So there's half of your X is made. All right, and this is real simple, guys. Very, very simple pattern. I love this one. Take the needle on this side. Make sure you're coming out, your string's coming out this way. If not, it won't look right. I've done it wrong so many times. Take 3 seed beads, and now we're going to go through the next pearl. That's the reason we pulled these over, so you can see we've already worked that pearl. Now we're going through the next pearl from the bottom up. And pull that tight. Now, take your other needle that's coming out of the top of that seed bead, and we're going to add 1. I'm telling you, I see people doing this, and they're like, boom, boom, boom. She'd have like 10 on her needle by now. I don't know why I struggle with that. Okay. Going to the top of the same pearl we just went through there. Now we're going from the top down to the bottom. Okay, and you should have an X. Pull it all tight. Look how gorgeous that's going to be with that turquoise. Don't look turquoise in the film, does it? This is turquoise. It's a gorgeous dark turquoise. But my camera changes colors of things for reasons we do not know. Okay, now we're going to add 3 more seed beads. 1, 2, 3 on one needle. On the other needle, we're going to add 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm out of frame. Get back over here. Okay, now remember that 4th seed bead, we have to take the opposite needle and cross it back through in the opposite direction. So we're always crossing in 2 different directions. And then that is the first half of the X over the next pearl. How pretty is that? Okay, now let's take 3, 1, come to mama. 1, 2, 3 seeds. Now this is the needle that's coming out of the top. Okay, out of the top of that little bitty seed bead. The one that comes out of the top goes in from the top of the next pearl, top to bottom. Okay, and if it flips around, you just fix it. Okay, now the other needle comes out of the bottom. So it has 1, 2, 3 seed beads on it, and it goes in the bottom to the top. All right, so this is what you do, guys. Continue doing that all the way around. Okay, so here I am fixing to do the last one. So I'm going to add my 3 seed beads, and I'm going into that last pearl. Pull it to the top. Get the kink out. No kinks allowed. Then we're going to take our other needle and we're going to put on 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go from the top down and pull. Now look real carefully all the way around your bead. Make sure everything looks right. If there's a bobo anywhere, I would say go back and fix it. I know nobody wants to do that, but I can tell you by experience, if it ain't right, it ain't right. And it's better to go back and redo it. I've redone so many, but I want them right. I want them perfect, if at all possible. Okay, now we're going to take one needle and we're going to work those crystals just like we did in the last video. So we go through a crystal, we add a seed. Go through a crystal and add a seed. Through a crystal. I wish the colors showed up the same because this is like my favorite absolute aqua turquoisey, and it just looks like blue on the video. Nothing fun. Okay, so I've got 4 seeds and I went through a crystal each time, pulling all those into a circle. Now I'm going to go back around, seed and crystal and seed and crystal. Just round and round. Just those 4 seeds. Don't pick up a hitchhiker. Just the 4 that we just went through. Around she goes. All right, now I'm going to stop somewhere in here and I'm going to tack it. So there's 1 loop. There's 2 loops. Make sure it goes down in between the same 2 you came out of and pull. All right, so I tacked and I'm keeping on going through a crystal. So we're just going round, around, around. I'm just double securing that. We want to make sure it is good and tight. Come here, you. Oh, no. Don't you hate when that happens? But tell you one thing, size 10 is a lot easier to thread than 13. It'd take me longer to thread my needle than put some of my beads on. It was driving me cuckoo. All right, so I'm just going to keep going round around and tacking. Okay, so I have done the other side. I just added a seed between each crystal and went round and round she goes. Round and round. Almost through. I'm going to stop right here or just wherever. Doesn't matter. And I'm going to do my little double tack. Go through the loop twice. Makes like a little double knot. Pull that tight. And then I'm just going to go around a few more times just to make double sure. Whoops. And when you're going through the seed beads, make sure you go just through the one on the top. If you accidentally pick up one of the others, it'll kind of set the pattern a little crooked. And you'll see it. You'll be like, what did I do? All right. So what I'm going to do, tell you what, I think I'll do it right there. I'm going to tack one more time. Nobody can say I don't lock them in. So I don't want it to come undone. They're so gorgeous. All right, I'll pull that down. And then I'm going to go around a couple more times just to kind of bury my knot. That pulls that knot up under that bead. And just a little extra security. So I'm just going through the 4 crystals and the seed beads on the top. And honestly, I can feel it starting to get tighter, which is great. Okay? All right, guys. There is your finished bead. You've got crystals. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of frame. You've got crystals on the top, crystals on the bottom, and look at the side. Isn't that gorgeous? See a little thread right there where I just cut it. I didn't cut it quite short enough. We'll go back and nip that off. And that's all you've got to do, guys. That's all there is to it. Go load it up on a head pin and you are good to go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.